Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So in our last video, we have learned nouns classification. There we have learned 5 kinds of nouns: proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun and abstract noun, right? If you remember, I have mentioned there that nouns also can be classified as countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Today we will learn the countable and uncountable nouns, okay, in detail. First we will learn what is countable noun. Now countable noun means which can be counted, isn't it? Like, students, children, tree, book, pen, pencil, all can be counted, right? That's why it is countable noun. I have mentioned countable which can be counted. Students, table, chair, pen, pencil, books, apples, etc. all are countable noun. One thing you have to remember, countable noun, that means we can count it. It can be plural. Singular mean one and plural mean more than one. So countable noun can be singular and plural. Clear? If it is plural, it will take the plural verb. Clear? Now let's come to uncountable. What is uncountable? That cannot be counted, isn't it? Like water, can you count? No. Smoke, air, hair, even you cannot count here. Money itself is uncountable. But some of you are thinking, no, I can count money. Give me thousands, I can count. No. When we are putting some number before money, then it is counted, right? Then we can count it. It is countable now. But money is considered as uncountable now. Clear? Now, we will learn that in uncountable noun, we always will use singular verb. Why? Because we cannot count it, right? It is uncountable. We cannot make it plural, isn't it? That's why it is uncountable noun and it always take the singular verb because we cannot make it plural. So what we have learned from the beginning? We have learned countable nouns which can be counted, uncountable nouns which cannot be counted. Examples of countable noun I have given: student, table, chair, books. Uncountable noun I have given the example: water, oil, sugar, soil, rice, all. Okay. Countable noun can be plural and singular, but uncountable noun cannot be plural. It always takes the singular verb. I hope it is clear up to it, right? Now, let's move on to, I hope you can see that I have mentioned there are so many words and it is very important because most of us get confused where to use a lot of, where to use much, many, some, any, few, a few, little, a little, where to use. Now we will learn a lot of. I hope you can see a lot of. In both sides we can use me. In both nouns, countable nouns we can use a lot of. Even uncountable noun we can use a lot of. Countable nouns mean countable plural nouns we use a lot of. What is the meaning of a lot of in countable plural nouns? Now a large number. It can be counted, right? A large number. It is clear, right? A lot of means a large number for countable plural nouns. Let me give you an example. There are a lot of books in the library. Clear? Could anyone tell me what kind of sentence is this? There are, sorry, I hope I have used are or I don't know. Okay, let me give you an example. A lot of books, a lot of pens, a lot of students, a lot of tables, a lot of chairs, isn't it? So, did you notice that I have used books is students plural, right? Now let's come to that where we can use a lot of. A lot of we can use in both nouns, countable and uncountable. But you have to remember this thing. A lot of we can use for affirmative sentences in both affirmative sentences. Many of you are thinking then what is affirmative then? Yes, in our very first video, we have learned sentences, kinds of sentences. There we have learned affirmative and negative sentences, right? And there I have mentioned that assertive sentence, interrogative, negative, imperative, optative sentence. Those who were absent, so kindly go back to our first video. From the very root you can learn. We have started with sentences. Okay, there you can learn. So affirmative sentences we use a lot of. Clear? Let me give you an example. There are a lot of books. Are. Did you notice? There are. Plural verb, right? There are a lot of books in the library. Clear? There are a lot of books in the library. This is affirmative sentence. Acha, if we use in affirmative, then what will be negative and interrogative? What will be in negative and interrogative sentence? Yes, that is the question. A lot of will be in negative and interrogative, many for countable plural nouns. Okay? So a lot of we will use many instead of a lot of in negative and interrogative sentences in countable plural nouns. Clear? This example, what was the example? There are a lot of books in the library. Make it negative. There are not many books in the library. Negative sentence, right? There are not many books in the library. What will be? Interrogative. Are there many books in the library? Interrogative mark. Okay? Don't forget to put question mark. Are there many books in the library? Clear? We give one more example like there are a lot of students. There are a lot of students in our school. Clear? There are not many students in the school. Negative, interrogative. Are there many students in the school? Clear? So this is a lot of what countable plural nouns. Clear? Now we will move on to a lot of in uncountable noun. Now a lot of in uncountable means a large amount, a large quantity. Clear? A lot of means a large quantity, a large amount for uncountable noun. Same here. It will be used in affirmative sentences only. In uncountable also. What will be negative and interrogative? The negative and interrogative, a lot of will be much amount, right? Much for uncountable nouns. Clear? For uncountable nouns. Let me give you an example. There is, because I say that it always take the singular verbs, because we cannot make it plural. Uncountable noun cannot make it plural, right? We cannot make uncountable nouns plural. That's why it always takes the singular verb. There is a lot of water in this pond. Clear? There is a lot of water in this pond. What will be in negative? This is affirmative sentence. In negative, there is not much water in this pond. Clear? Is there much water in this pond? Interrogative mark, question mark, okay? I hope it is clear. Okay. So we have learned countable and uncountable, singular and plural, singular verb and plural verb. For uncountable, always take the singular verb, okay? And where to use a lot of, much, many. We have learned, right? A lot of for affirmative sentences and much, many for negative and interrogative sentences. Many for countable plural nouns and much for uncountable nouns. Clear? Next, now we will move on to some. What is the meaning of some? The sum means a certain number. Even like a lot of sum will be used in countable plural nouns and uncountable nouns. Clear? In both sides we can use sum. And some we will use sum in affirmative sentences like a lot of. Okay? We will use sum in affirmative sentences like a lot of. Some mean a certain number. A certain number. Some mean a certain number. Countable, right? For countable plural nouns, some mean a certain number. Same uncountable nouns, some mean a certain amount. Correct? Certain amount or quantity. Good. Affirmative sentences we will use some in both sides. Okay? Let me give you an example. There are uh, there are some mangoes in the basket. Clear? There are some mangoes in the basket. Clear? There are plural mean mangoes plural, right? So that's why it is taking the plural verb. There are some mangoes in the basket. Clear? Next, negative. There, acha, I forgot to tell you. Some will be in negative, any, in both sides. Negative and interrogative, some will be changed into any. Okay? So for both, some here a certain number, some here a certain quantity. Some will be changed into any, some will be changed into any in both nouns, countable plural nouns and uncountable nouns for negative and interrogative sentences. Clear? There are some mangoes in the basket. As an affirmative sentence, right? What will be negative? There are not any mangoes in the basket. Interrogative. Are there many mangoes in the basket? Isn't it? Is it clear? Let's move on to uncountable. Some are certain mean a limited amount, a limited quantity, a certain quantity. There is, because uncountable, always take the singular verb. We cannot make it plural. There is some ink in this bottle. There is some ink, not inks, because it is not plural, right? There is some ink in this bottle. Affirmative sentence. What will be negative? There is not any ink in this bottle. Is there any ink in this bottle? Interrogative sentence. Interrogative mark. Okay. I hope you got it right. Okay. Now let's move on to few and a few. Here you can see few and a few we use in countable plural noun. Okay. But we will know what is the meaning of a few and few. Where to use? A few means some. Mean less than some, but I have something, some number. Okay. And few mean hardly anything, hardly any number, hardly anything, hardly any number. Let me give you an example. I have a few friends, so I don't feel lonely. Okay? I have a few friends, so I don't feel lonely. And I don't need anyone. I have few friends. I have a few friends. One, two, three, four. But not many, not some, but a few mean I have a number of. Next, you are saying, I have very few friends or I have few friends. I feel very lonely. I mean, I have almost no friend. Okay? I mean, hardly any friend. That's why I feel very lonely. I need a friend to share something. Got it? So, few mean, I have some. Few mean hardly. Same meaning, little a little same. Just difference just one different, just same for a little. Just you have to remember, few a few we will use for countable plural nouns and little a little we will use for uncountable. Little and a little. A little mean some amount. Mean less than some, but I have some amount. Got it? Little mean very little, hardly any amount. Let me give you an example. You know, I hope, some of your friends always ask you, not always, when you got a good marks, then they asked that, hey, you scored a good rank, so why not you are giving us a treat, right? So then you said, see, I have very little money. I cannot give you the treat. Or I cannot buy you an ice cream. I cannot buy you a chocolate. Isn't it? So, that means you don't have enough money to buy a chocolate or to give them the treat. Clear? And next example, you are saying that I have a little money, I can give you the treat. I have a little money, so we can go to the cinema or we can have some fun. I have a little money, not much money, not some money, but not limited, but we can just adjust the situation. I have that much. Clear? So we have learned so many things. Please take the notes, and I know that we get sometimes we get confused that where to use a lot of much many. So remember this thing: a lot of we use in both the nouns mean countable and uncountable nouns, but we use in affirmative sentences. Instead of a lot of, we will use many for countable plural nouns in negative and interrogative sentences. Okay, and much for uncountable nouns. Okay, negative and interrogative sentences. Some is not quite confusing because some we use in affirmative sentences and some instead of some we use any for both nouns, both places. Few of you is clear, right? And a few mean it will help you. A few, you see there is a article is there, so there is little bit more, right? And few mean only one word, so Not there is no majority, so very less, hardly any. You can say. I hope it is clear. So it is my part. It is my request to you all, those who are learning from the very root learn. So even here also we have started with sentences, after that parts of speech, then we learn that kinds of nouns, okay? And today we are learning that countable and uncountable, because after nouns I thought that yes, we should learn countable and uncountable nouns. And in our next class we will learn pronoun, kinds of pronouns. This is very very important, and so please follow accordingly, okay? Order, maintain the order, and do some exercise. I will share some exercise here. So you just solve it and share your answer in the comment box. I will check. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Have a great day ahead. Bye and take care. See you in our next video. Okay.